Good morning, Aston Gardens. Good morning, everyone. I hope you spent a nice night last night. Mark here this morning for our Wednesday update relative to Hurricane Ian. I have got a bunch of things I'd like to go over, but I would like to start with, I think we had a good evening last night, a good night last night. No major incidents. Thank you, every resident. Thank you, every team member that was here, that collaborated and cooperated. And my hope is that we're going to continue to do this over the next couple of days. So I'm going to give you the 8 a.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center related to Hurricane Ian. Hurricane Ian is a Category 4 hurricane presently, but right on the cusp of becoming a Category 5 hurricane. I cannot stress how important it is to adhere to the guidelines that we're being told relative to the news shows that you're watching, the weather shows that you're watching, and the information that I'm going to share with you today, this morning. The storm is moving at approximately 9 to 10 miles per hour. It is literally right off the coast of southwest Florida. 155 mile an hour sustained winds. It could grow slightly again and become a Category 5, which could be one of the most major hurricanes seen in southwest Florida in a long time. Today is going to be the main day of activity for our area. You can see if you've looked outside that there are significant winds and significant rainfall. So please, I cannot stress enough how important it is that you remain inside the building, that you do not exit the building. For any reason, you should not be exiting the building. There's been wind gusts in our area upwards of 70 miles an hour. Those are significant winds that can knock someone over and then obviously do damage. It is not safe to be outside. Even if you need to walk a dog, it is not safe to let your dog and yourself exit the building. Our team members in the buildings will be telling you this. They will be there to supervise, and they will strongly encourage each one of you to remain inside the building for at least the remainder of today, the entire day, and that is through the night tonight. This storm will continue to get worse over the next 3 to 4 hours, and early afternoon, we will really be in the peak part of the storm. We're not quite sure what the wind gusts are going to get to in our area, so please, once again, remain inside your buildings. As a reminder, we will not be delivering any food today. It is not safe to have team members circulate around the campus outside, so you should have all of your supplies in place. You should have had supplies in place for at least several days, so you should be good today with those supplies. I will give you another update relative to tomorrow's events and where we stand. Tomorrow morning at 9:30, we'll talk about tomorrow. And a little bit later today at 3:30 p.m., I will have another update for you. Remember that these updates get rebroadcast. The 9:30 updates get rebroadcast 4 times, once at 10, another time at 11 a.m., once at noon, and then at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And then the 3:30 update will get rebroadcast at 4 p.m., 5, 6, and 7 p.m. also. So if you want to watch it again, or for some reason you were not able to see it this morning, please do so. Please remember that we have 2 team members in each one of your buildings. We shared them with you yesterday. Once again, in Building 2, in Apartment 2109, Maria Escobar is our team leader. In Building 3, Apartment 109, Dee Fritz is the leader there. Lee Sesko is in Building 4, Apartment 110. Susan Hickey is in Building 5, Apartment 201. Christy Pickard is in building 6, apartment 109, and I am in building 7 in apartment, there's 2 apartments, 311 and 313. Those are the individuals that you can go to. They will be checking in on you today. They will start the check-ins at approximately 10 a.m. this morning, and then they will continue until they've been able to touch base with each and every resident to make sure that they are safe. We will, and this is really not an option. We've been lucky to have power so far. I know there's been some flickering going on with power. However, we will lose power. It is just a question of when we will lose power. In preparation for that loss of power, you should lower your thermostats in each one of your apartments to 72 degrees. Try to get the apartment as cool as possible so that when we lose power and you do not have air conditioning, that coolness can remain for as long as possible. And I know some of you are going to find that uncomfortable. Please put a sweater on, put 2 sweaters on, put a jacket on, but lower your AC units to 72 degrees to try to get that AC cooling going and get your apartment to be cooler. You will appreciate that once we lose power, probably sometime today. When we lose power, you'll lose all electricity to your apartments. We have some emergency lighting that will go on in the common areas and the hallways. You should not be using the elevator right now because we will lose power. The last thing that we need is someone in the elevator and getting caught in the elevator because power goes off while they're using it. If you want to circulate in the building, you should be going up and down the stairs of the building to circulate, so should not be using the elevator. We've also put in place in the hallways and in one of the stairwells in each building lanterns that are battery operated that will be controlled by our team members in the building. So if they do need lighting, when the emergency lighting might lapse at a certain point, we will turn those lanterns on to create light in the common areas in the hallways for everyone for your safety. They've announced on the news, if you've been following, that emergency response technicians, 911 technicians, EMT responders will not be responding in our area. The wind speeds have gotten higher than what is safe for them to circulate, so please keep that in mind, that if there is an emergency medical situation, the EMT responders will not be able to respond until those wind speeds go down. You can still contact 911, and once they're able to circulate, once they're able to get in their vehicles, they will come to the community. However, that may be delayed relative to the duration of the storm and the wind speeds. The last piece I'd like to share with everyone this morning is that we really recommend that when you are in your apartments, particularly for the next probably 4 to 5 to 6 hours, to try to not get too close to any of the windows. If there are any projectiles or items that are circulating outside, they could hit a window. So we recommend that you stay further away from the windows. You can even draw your blinds if that makes you feel a little more comfortable. That's not a bad practice to do. Once again, I'm going to repeat that I cannot stress enough the importance that residents, each and every resident, stay inside your building for the remainder of today, which includes tonight. So you should not be exiting your building for the next 24 hours. We'll update you at 3:30 this afternoon on the progression of the storm. I'll have another update for you at 9:30. So you really should not be exiting the building before the update is given tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. I'd like to thank each and every team member that's been here on site and continues to be here on site, and thank each and every resident for your cooperation and collaboration. Stay tuned for more at 3:30, but primarily stay safe. Take advantage of this to get to know your neighbors, get to know your friends, maybe have a coffee, or another beverage with your friends, but please remember, stay inside your buildings. We'll talk soon at 3:30. Thank you for tuning in this morning, and stay safe today.